Yo, what is good, everybody? It's Peyton, and welcome to my first storytime video. Now, this storytime video is going to be about one of my first times, and it's not going to be about that first time, but it is going to be about my first time smoking some of that devil's lettuce, some of that weed. Now, so this is definitely one that a lot of you guys can probably relate to. This isn't actually my first time smoking weed because my first time smoking weed, I was actually 12, but I didn't even really feel anything. So it kind of turned me off of it for a little while. But eventually, when I turned 13, I was down to see what the hell my homies were talking about. So you already know I had to indulge in that. So little 13-year-old me asked around school trying to find a drug dealer. At this point in my life, I didn't really have, I didn't know any drug dealers consistently. I knew, some of my homies had weed every once in a while. Some of them had, the pen every once in a while, but nobody consistently. Asking around your school is a foolproof method, by the way. It'll work. Middle school, high school, not saying to do it, but it definitely works. Everybody knows somebody. And I eventually, end up getting some sketchy ass one. So I end up adding, real killer Chantrell or some shit on Snapchat to get a little dub. By the way, if you don't know what a dub is, it's $20 worth of weed. Back then, I thought that meant I was gonna get 2 grams, but nah. Plug definitely finessed, and I definitely got the gram for like a gram for like 20. But anyways, before I texted bro for the weed, I was asking my bro, let's give him a fake name for the story. Let's call him Cody. If he was down to slide over the crib to smoke. Now, I'm not sure if Cody had smoked before, but my guess would be no, considering the events that followed that night. But anyways, I was hyped all school day. I was ready to hit up dude. I was ready to get freaking geeked, bro. I was ready to get geeked. The plan was to get high as hell after school and then play Fortnite. This was around, I think 2018. So, or 2018, 2019. Fortnite was popping, bro. Like, me and my boy, we wanted to play Fortnite. And that still sounds like a pretty decent day to me, getting geeked and playing some fucking Fort. Now, when I was on the ride home from school on the bus, it was around like 2:45 probably, 2:45 to 3. I was texting bro, I was texting real killer Chantrell, and I was like, bro, let me get that dub sack, man. Like, I need that. Nothing. Nothing. All right, get home, text him at 4, right? Nothing again. And at this point, I'm like, man, what the fuck, right? Text him at 5. Nothing. At this point, me and bro were starting to, accept the possibility that maybe we weren't going to be smoking that night. But of course not. Then the prophecy wouldn't come true of me becoming, a fucking poly addict from 13 to 17. So a higher power had to intervene. And bro texted back randomly at like 9 fucking 30. And me and Cody were hyped, dude. I ain't even gonna lie. We were really hyped. Started emoting and shit in the basement. It was actually low-key cringe as hell, but hey, we were fucking stoked, man. Anyways, plug pulls up directly in my driveway after I specifically told bro not to do that. So I had to tell my mom, I was like, hey, I'm giving a friend an old video game. Once again, another foolproof method right there. Not really. I don't know why the fuck she believed that shit. But anyways, I walk out to bro's window and he's shiestied up and he's got his gun on his lap. Yeah, a whole gun and concealing his identity from a 13-year-old for a fucking gram, bro. But the deal still went smooth. Had my green and 5-second interaction and no words were spoken, so I was pretty happy because first time drug deal, it's low-key kind of nerve-wracking, especially when you're like 13. Like, man, I had no business being around that at that time period, but whatever. By the time when I got back inside, I went back down to the basement and me and Cody had to wait out my parents so that we could go outside. If everything would have went to the original plan, then we would have smoked before my parents got home from work. Problem is, there was only like an hour between when I got home from school and when they got home from work. So looking back now, it probably is actually a good thing that things didn't go directly as planned because, my mom would have definitely ended up catching our asses. We were geeked for a lot longer than an hour. So by the time my parents were in bed, we had already made a ghetto engineered bong, all right? One simple search on YouTube and we were going crazy. We didn't have nothing to smoke out of, so we had to pull out the stem mines, okay? We got the water bottle, a highlighter, and some aluminum foil. Pro tip, by the way, do not smoke from aluminum foil. That's crackhead shit, and I was young and stupid. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and most importantly, I was desperate to get high for the first time. But once we had our engineered bong finished up, We made sure to quietly slip out the back door, and we got straight to it. And now, hey, by the first rip, I knew this was going to be something that I liked a lot. We maybe took like 5 rips each from this ghetto ass bong, and we were fried, man, absolutely hornswoggled. There isn't even a word to describe the plane of existence that you were on when you get high for the first time. I was swaying to an imaginary beat and shit. It was actually pretty beautiful, I ain't even gonna lie. But that amazing euphoria was quickly turned into some paranoia when me and my bro heard rustling on the other side of the fence. To explain, I had a pretty big backyard, and we had like these privacy trees on one part of the fence, and then like there would be like no trees and just a fence with a field on the other side, right? And on the fence side with the trees, we heard rustling in there, and that just immediately fucked with our mojo. All right, we immediately shut the hell up, and we were like, well, like just looking at each other. We were like, what are we gonna do? Eventually, I ended up talking to Cody into looking over the fence because he's taller than me. The fence was literally 4 foot tall, but I was scared as hell. I'm not gonna lie. And when Cody looked over the fence, he just yelled loud as fuck, "It's a possum, bro!" And I ain't even gonna lie, that shit was the biggest relief because my stone mind was immediately going to like serial killer or something worse. Anyways, we practically stumbled back into the basement after that one. We had enough of being outside after that. Yeah, but not before making a pit stop at the kitchen, baby. Every single first time story has a crazy munchies experience. And maybe not every single one, but mine definitely did, right? So we get in the kitchen, right? And I'm being completely serious here. I remember this shit to a T, all right? We had leftover steak in the fridge, right? So me and Cody, we grabbed that. We had some ice cream in the freezer. So you already know we had to grab some of that. We had cereal in the cabinet. We grabbed some of that. And we had fucking raisins as well. We grabbed some of that as well. I hate raisins. I'm sure Cody hates raisins too. Who the hell likes raisins? But we ate them that night. We were on our 5-star shit. Keep in mind, this kitchen charade probably took us about 20 minutes, and we were not being quiet. Just doing high shit, looking at each other, snorting, trying not to fucking laugh because we were so zoinked. So once again, miracle we didn't get caught. When we made it downstairs, we tried hopping on the game, but we were just so terrible. I'm talking 0 aim, 0 reaction time, 0 game sense. Our IQs collectively, the both of us definitely got to about room temperature at this point. So we just decided to get off the game entirely at that point. And our high asses were trying to decide what to do, right? What better to do when you can't do anything than watch some fucking YouTube? So we turned on some educational YouTube video, and hey, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I most certainly indulged in that content. Very informational. I wish I could remember. I wish I could remember anything they were talking about because that shit was about an hour long, and it seemed like it was really in depth from what I can remember. But I was so geeked, man. I was just trying to stay awake. But I was probably only up for an hour. I think I watched the majority of that video, but I eventually fell asleep. Next morning I woke up, man. I felt refreshed. I was pretty decent, still a little high. I'm not even gonna lie. After like 6 hours of sleep, we had to go to school the next day. Bro had all 3 of the ice cream tubs from the freezer. Cody, yeah, he got all of the ice cream from the freezer and brought it down and slammed every single one of them. Worst part is, Cody's lactose intolerant, and we had school. So while I was out here, definitely having a good time, I was chilling, feeling refreshed at school. This man was on the shitter almost all day because he ate all my fucking damn ice cream. And you know what? I think he deserves that. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening and tuning in to the story. Once again, if you made it all the way here, you might as well tap the like button. And yeah, y'all have a good one.